your own research and due diligence before investing in any company. The information I provide is in no way or manner a professional suggestion to purchase shares in any publicly traded company. I am not licensed to provide financial advice, and this should be considered entertainment. These stock profiles are intended to be trading ideas, a starting point for research. Any individual who chooses to invest in any securities should do so with caution. Investing in securities is speculative and carries a high degree of risk. You may lose some or all the money that is invested. Always research your own investments and consider consulting with a registered investment advisor or a licensed stockbroker before investing. What's going on, everybody, man? It's your boy Sal. I'm in the building. Late as hell. Had some family issues. Please forgive me. Man, I honestly didn't mean to come on this late, fam. Like, seriously. But I had some family issues come up. But I promised myself I was going to come on the air. I don't know how many people are going to be watching this shit, but I'm here. All right, so we're going to knock out a show real quick. Again, my bad, family. Just had some family issues come up, but I'm on the air here. It was just a situation where it was kind of inappropriate for me to just, cut things loose and just go on the air on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't one of those kind of situations. So, appreciate you guys joining me. I hope you understand. I'm on the air now. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the air now. Shout out to all the people coming in the chat room. Yeah, well, I mean, technically it's Tuesday. Well, I'm going to say it's still Tuesday. Even though it's Wednesday. Let me knock this out and let's get to the show, man. Yes, indeed. So, again, appreciate you guys in the chat room now. I know most of the people are off to sleep, especially West Coast folks. East Coast folks, excuse me. East Coast folks are probably already knocked out, getting ready for work tomorrow or today. Let's see here. We had some really good things I want to look at for tomorrow. What I want to look at for tomorrow, let me see here. Lines are open. So if you have a question or concern, give me a call. Life 4A TV, yeah, that's a little nice little track. What's going on, Hiawatha, Lord Yasay? Who else do we have in here? Mr. Nguyen. No problem, sir. Jeff Thayer, Adam Board, Mara Trader, Donald Hawkins, trucking to Miami. That's what's up, man. I'm glad I could be of service to you. Safe trip down to Miami. All right, so let's take a look at XGTI today. It gapped up higher. I was actually looking at XGTI as that it would fade down because it's let some people down before, but this looks like it could be a multiple day situation here. XGTI, and I'm trying to figure out what was the news on. Looks like I'm seeing an 8K, so obviously they put out some news about something. Let's find out what the news was. They issued a press release announcing their financial results. Okay. Obviously the market liked whatever they put out. I don't know what they put out, but the market liked it. The stock gapped up higher, almost 50 cents. I mean, wouldn't that be nice to wake up and your stock is up 50 cents? On honestly some news that wasn't really, again, I didn't see the numbers, but I mean, knowing XGTI, I know those numbers couldn't have been that good. Let me get that one more time. Yeah. So shout out to XGTI. Let's see what they look like on the daily chart. Yeah, so Very bearish stock, right? I mean, a stock that's been losing money for months. Gaps up higher. I don't know what it could look like or what that means for this company moving down the road. Let me see here, because you expect to have a lot of selling pressure in the stock. What's going on, Tyree? What's up, Bad Scientist? So I don't know. I don't, again, because this is very, very unusual volume for XGTI. You know, look, the stock has what they call spikeability. You know, if you follow Tim Sykes, that's the word for plays like this that can just kind of go crazy out of nowhere. But as you can see from this volume that came into the stock today, it just blew everything that you expected out of a play like this. You know, just out the water. So very, very unusual move for XGTI. Very unusual move for the stock. Yeah, volume was crazy. I mean, look at that volume bar. Look at that volume bar. Nowhere near those levels ever been seen. Let's see here. What else do we have moved today? I see a bill. I'm not familiar with this company, a bill. Ability Corp. Here's another, you know, where you have these bearish stocks that reject these higher prices, not because there wasn't enthusiasm for those higher prices. It's because you just have so many bearish people who've lost money, and this is an opportunity for them to be able to sell into losses that aren't as significant as they've been going through. I mean, look at the stock. Here's the daily chart again. So you had a stock that ran that had been losing money 3 days straight. So, you know, let's say you were somebody who were in the stock at 85, or you got down to 80, 71 cent, 68 cent yesterday. You know, let's say you had bought the day before at 75. This was your opportunity to sell into that new momentum, but not crazy volume, less than a million. So yeah, that was your opportunity to sell into that liquidity. So ABIL, huge gain for the stock, but it'll probably not see those levels again anytime soon. Yeah. Cool Cat Beats. Yeah, he does have a DVD called Spikeability, but I heard it was horrible though. That's why it's one of the least talked about. Supposedly that one is like a really horrible DVD. Including there's one that a lot of people think is really good, but it's also really bad. I think it was called Penny Stock Framework. That one's really bad. It's just a conference where he's again pushing that, you know, and not really teaching. AMD and Etsy was racing each other today. AMD, you know, oh wow, I missed the boat on AMD because let me see here. Yeah, I really missed the boat on AMD because I remember when the stock gapped down after earnings. But I mean, look at the way investors and the market have really helped AMD. I mean, if you guys haven't been following the Qs, you know, look at the Qs, which are the Nasdaq best, what is it called? Information technology companies. I mean, they've been killing it. And AMD has been no doubt a beneficiary of the overall market, you know, allowing all boats to float. And in a sideways market where an AMD probably would still be getting killed, you know, it picks up stocks like this off the ground, and you covered that gap very, very quickly. I mean, it didn't take too long for this stock to turn around. if you bought it after the gap down. Even if it went against you, 1, 2, 3, 4. So after the stock gap down, lost money intraday, 4 days, and then you went back into gains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then today 6. So in about a week and a half, you were into some solid profit from 1050. Now you're at 1275. If you caught AMD at a bottom, not bad. What's up, Stocker fella? Yeah, man, USCI doing pretty good. Look, this is a stock that I continue to be preaching about because again, like I said, I know this CEO. I know what he's going to do. So these lows, I got a position now. It's just it doesn't make sense for me to add anything more. So we'll see what happens with the stock, man. Obviously he put something out. They announced yesterday that they were going to start growing cannabis in California, which was the reason for the relocate to California. So they're going to start doing some things. But I know when I started talking about it, there are a lot of people who got in it, and then, of course they don't have the patience, so they got out. But USCI, the doubles are coming soon. Not going to say it's tomorrow. Not going to say it's this, end of this week. I don't know. I'm just letting it build into something like it has so many times before. Bad Scientist, you said you got into Tops at support for a possible overnight trade. Let's take a look at it. Tops is doing what you call just did. Dries with the reverse split. And, look, these shippers, Africa Emporium posted something about how Dries has more ships than the Navy. And these companies still, just can't find a way to make any money. And I think Tops is another perfect example. But, here we have a chart that's very strongly oversold based on, the RSI indicator here. When you look at Dries, you see this pretty much the same situation. Another oversold stock that just recently did a reverse split. What can you say about these things? These were stocks that, up until, February, March, I think people still love these companies. And, man, I don't know what's going on, man. Bats, you said going to the 5-minute. All right, so Bat's looking at the 5-minute. Here's the 16 starting about right here. So we had, all right, yeah, so about right here, excuse me. So we had a little run in the morning that was rejected, came back down. Momentum tried to push that back up. Tried to squeeze some shorts this morning, unfortunately. All right. Here's the 5-minute, Bats. I still don't see it, but let me put your VWAP in here. Let me put your VWAP in here. Let me see what you're seeing. All right. Scale that to the left. All right, so here's the 5-minute on VWAP. So you are below the VWAP. You are below the VWAP just slightly. So we'll see what that looks like tomorrow for you, man. What's going on, Tyson Bats? I hope you got my response there on Twitter. We're going to have Tyson Bats on Thursday. We're going to have Tyson Bats on Thursday. We're going to go through a really good analysis of his strategy. And Tyson, basically what I'm going to let you do is just basically, have at it, just like I did with Bad Scientist and Stock God. Just, walk us through everything, man. and how you find your picks and how someone else could use what you do to make money. Step-by-step process. Let me see here. What else we had? SYPR. Here's SYPR. I don't like the volume. Volume sucks. Let's see what else we had. TDW did really well. TDW. Here's the TDW with the 5-minute chart. It was really interesting because the move came at the end of the day. The move came at the end of the day, and I hate that shit because, you know, you don't know what the hell happened. You know, 20 minutes before the market closes, you're winding down. You know what I'm saying? You're looking at the market like, okay, let's see what's gonna be popping off for tomorrow, and then sure enough, this thing starts running. And, you know, most of us aren't the type to just put a last minute order in for no reason. National Oil Well, Varco's. I don't know anything with Tidewater. Let's look on the daily chart for TDW. Yeah, see another bearish stock. Been getting killed by oil, which had a decent day yesterday, but back in the red today. Actually had a decent day yesterday. Here's USO on the oil. Oil's just been getting beat up. Some of these should be green, but I know for a lot of people's charts they're also showing red. Chris Quark, you said no more Patreon. I mean, I just look, man. Look, nobody owes me anything, so at this point, I've been able to collect a significant amount of torrents as someone who's been trading online now for, you know, 3.5 years. So I've got so many torrents, so I'm using that as a way to fund, you know, my operations. So I don't necessarily have to be like taking everything out of my own pocket. So now I'm looking at it as an opportunity. Somebody can put some skin in the game in a different kind of way. So it's not like, hey guys, donate to my cause. If you got it, great. But I think saying, hey, I've got over 100 hours of DVD penny stock trading that I can offer you right now for a small donation. And I think that's just more logical, you know what I'm saying? Than, hey, can I get a donation? 480, call me back, man. 480. Call me back. Hey, Chris, nah, man. I just some things got in the way tonight. And I don't broadcast on Wednesday nights. The market's gonna be open up in a couple hours. I just it's not bad to get our mind right. I actually don't mind, you know, it being kind of late. I hope you don't. I know most of you guys watching them probably on the West Coast. I saw some of the Chinese stocks move a little late today. You know, when these Chinese stocks run, they run in bunches. They tend to run in bunches. I'm going to look at CHNR in a minute. Here was GSAT. This has been one to watch. And I you know, we talked about this on Friday because you guys remember they announced that they are for sale. So GSAT is an automatic like buy and hold after they announced that. And I haven't even been the biggest fan of swing trading in a while since I've pretty much gone back to shorting. But you guys know I've been all over the Foos 4 strategy, and that as well is available. Let me put an EMA back in here. let me put an EMA in here. If I put, let me put a bright EMA here. And he uses, I know Bats uses the 8. Scale to the left. Let me see what the 8 looks like. Let me see, here's the 1 day. Are we still below? Let me see here. I don't know about that one. Let me see if I formatted that right. Oh, no, I didn't. Hold on, let me format it right. Scale to, there we go. Scale to the left. There it is. So as we got into, as they announced on Friday, which was the 12th. Where's the 12th at? Boom, right here. This was the move. And as you can see here, it's been staying relatively well above the 8 exponential moving average. Even better if you switch it to a 13, which is that FUS4. That FUS4 strategy is where you use that 13 EMA to decide whether or not to stay in a trade. So if you move it to 13, you're good. I mean, you've been golden for several days into the play to stay in the strategy. Now, although, you know, we're getting a little hot here on the RSI, as you can see. So far, so good. Darth Vader, you're asking me if China stocks are going to run. I mean, we had a couple Chinese plays run today. CHNR is that Chinese stock I'm talking about. CHNR popped its head above the 13-day EMA as well as the 8. Let me go back to the 8. That's the one we're more familiar with, and as you can see, popped its head right above that again here on the daily chart. Volume isn't necessarily the greatest, but let's see if that brings in some new money in the play tomorrow. We'll be watching. Yeah, Bats. Let me add another EMA for the 4. I always have trouble picking like what I want the colors to be. Scale left. Let this be 4. Okay. All right. So here it is. So 4 is white. 8 is yellow. Ghetto Investor, you say USI is doing its thing? Yeah, it's been doing pretty good. Don't go crazy. I mean, like I said, it's just one of those tickets that's just going to build up. You know, you're going to have most of the investors that are coming in it now weren't in it before. You know, but that's just kind of how you win in OTC stocks, is that you stay in when people come in and out, and over a course of months, you know, you put yourself in a position where you have a nice bag in a play as it's built up over time and over runs, and you've stuck there. You know, that's kind of what I learned in Strikeforce Technologies. You know, one of the things I learned watching this stock, especially over the course of when I started the show back last June, is that this was a stock that was, you know, another 0008. And what you had is the stock came 0008, ran all the way to 1. You know, some people sold because you had a nice bag. I mean, 0008 to, you know, 2 cents is a lot of money. The stock faded, came back, gave you an opportunity. This is a whole new group of investors, and here you go with another opportunity at a solid bag. You know. Okay, so GSAT is the one where we talked about the swing trade that's gotten a little hot. But I won't short it because they can drop out. They can drop that news on you at any time that they found a buyer. So even though RSI is going crazy, I wouldn't sleep on the stock. NADL, I never put stocks that people actually enjoy to buy. You can never forget about those plays. And people really enjoy to buy NADL, so this is one I'm still watching. But it's just been trending and it hasn't done anything special in some time. But this is one you still gotta watch because it can fly. It can fly. 12 Rider, 1972. You're looking at PGPM. Interesting. Somebody brought that up the other day. Yeah, that's another stock, 4 and 8. As you can see here, hugging that 4 exponential moving average beautifully, which is crazy because when I saw that on Friday, I thought it was game over for PGPM, for that OTC stock and that doji. I mean, because that was just, I don't know if you can get a more beautiful looking doji than what it showed on Friday, but here you had these guys come save the day on Monday with that huge move. IMLFF, InMed Pharmaceuticals. Yeah, as you can see here, they had a really great April. But the conversation in this stock has really died down after the way it ended the month. I think you're like the first person to bring it up, and today's May 17th. I mean, I haven't heard IMLFF in weeks. As you can see here by the chart, on the daily chart here, that's why I love this colored volume bars indicator here on TradingView, because you can just literally see how the momentum died and the buying started to wane off here in the colors of the bars here, and it just hasn't gotten to what it used to be. Bats, oh, absolutely. I agree 100% with Bats, and we have a show with Bat Scientist talking about his 4 and 8 exponential moving strategy. And Bats, we'll probably do that again next week, because I know we've got a lot of new people since that show who review what we talk about here after we're off the air, and they're watching the replays. So I know you've refined a lot of that strategy since that show. So we can definitely do that again as well. Let me see what else was. Now you guys know intraday I'm looking for shorting opportunities. If you follow my Twitter, SGMO is my number one thing right now. It's SGMO. I want this stock so bad, man, based on these higher prices that are bringing in lower volume. Obviously prices are going higher, so people can't afford to buy as much as they could at the 4s and the 5s, so it's understandable. But I want this so bad. I mean, this can change my account. This can change my account right here. So I put that on Twitter, like, your soul is mine, because it's so true with what can happen tomorrow in US and SGMO, excuse me. And some of you guys got to learn how to have to learn how to short too. It's a great opportunity to get into some high probability gains. FNJN is another one of those FNJN. Chinese IT company that has ran on some really good earnings that they released based on, and that earnings was based on like 2 deals that they had this year that sent their balance sheet to Pluto. But you had management sell into those gains, so that tells me they're not big believers, as you can see here. In February, here just a couple days ago, look at that, May 15th, you had a huge buyer sell 30,000 shares, another buyer sell 133,000 shares, another buyer sell 82,000 shares. So I want a piece of this, riding this back down to the low 2s. Yeah, man, your soul is mine. Shout out Mortal Kombat, man. That was a fun game back in the day. Shout out to Mortal Kombat. That was a real fun game back in the day, man. That's what's cool. Appreciate that, Izzy Jules. Troy, what pump are you talking about? What's going on, Brandon King? NVAX. NVAX looking good, man. NVAX looking good. All right. Looking good. Solid volume. Look at that. 10 million shares traded on NVAX. Yeah, this one is one that you don't really want to mess with. I mean, typical biotech play. It's losing money, but I guess it's got some very, very valuable properties. This had the gap down. Yeah, there it is. We talked about NVAX. You can go back to that show months ago, last year. And, it has yet to really get to the gap. And I think that's where you're going to see some incredible amount of volume coming to NVAX. Is if it can get back to, the 2s, man. If you can see 250 in NVAX, man, this thing is, the sky's the limit, but it's just struggled to get back there. And, now it's topping out already, as you can see here on the RSI on the daily. You're breaching, what is that? You're at 69 now, so you're not that high, but, it's just got to go harder. It's got to go harder. Let's see here. Some of these main players. Dude, I mean, I still follow McDonald's, man. It's just been killing it, dude. Look at this McDonald's chart, bro. I'm not even a big fan of like options like that, but I've been seeing people just killing it on some of these options with the market just going the way it's going. Look at McDonald's. McDonald's market cap is up. We talked about this. I think they're up almost $17 billion in value. Let me put that market cap indicator in there again, because I'm just so amazed what my market rally can do. Let me let it. There it is, right there. Let me darken it so you guys can see this. I'm gonna get rid of it in a bit, but let's just look at where we were in, what is that, January. We were at 100 billion for market cap in McDonald's. That was the valuation of the company, $100 billion. Now the company 5 months later is worth $122 billion. So this market has created another $22 billion in thin air in the valuation of McDonald's. So in 5 months, McDonald's has grown $22 billion. Now, has McDonald's done anything to really create $22 billion worth of net value? I mean, have they, I could understand if they mechanized everything, and now if you go to McDonald's, you don't see a real person or some shit like that. But it just goes to show how crazy this market is, man. Insane. Let me see here. Appreciate that, Davier. Stephen Baker. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't even remember the episode. I don't even remember the number of the episode, but I know we got to do another one with bats. What did I ask about the CEO? What's going on, Bruce Cole? Well, basically because he had $300 million got added to the flow. So somebody cashed in their shares. That's why AMLH looks like that right now. 300 million shares got added to the float. So somebody cashed in some options that they probably had in the trade, and AMLH is not a buy and hold. So he blocked me on Twitter. He went on today to, again, try to hype up the company, because that's what he does. He tries to post pictures and tag, people that he goes and meets, celebrities who want nothing to do with the company, and he tries to practically pump the stock, and they keep falling for it. And he blocked me like I'm not a promoter, and like I don't have 7 damn Twitter accounts. Like, dude, I used to pump companies just like yours, dude. I have 7 Twitter accounts. There's an account on Twitter right now called Trading Granny. Trading Granny, that's me. Motherfuckers really think I'm a real grandma. Hold on, let me respond to my mom's text here. I don't know what my mom is doing up right now. Alright. There it is. Alright. So yeah. Yeah, AMD killed it. Yeah, Trading Granny is me. And I got a whole bunch of other ones. Some of them that I got an email somewhere with the usernames and passwords and shit. Yeah, you know what moms do. What else do we see here? NPTN is another one. NPTN looking real good. But here's another one that I think might be running. This is not the cheapest stock in the world, but man, the run has been crazy. And this one over the last couple of days, it crossed the 4 and 8 exponential average, and I'm so mad because I saw this move, man. I saw when it went from red to green on the 4 to 8 flip over. But I don't know why I didn't. Man, when you see sometimes a play and then you just don't make the move, man. Oh God, I regret it because that's been a solid move. $2 up over the last week and a half. NPTN. So now it looks like it might be topping out here. So NPTN might be turning over its old leaf. Troy, would I be live during trading tomorrow? No, I don't go live during trading hours. I'd like to though. I'd like to though. Especially now that I'm back to shorting again. And so far so good. But man, like when you record a live trade, like some of these things, you know, they can go like 30-40 minutes, and you know, you have your analysis for like a second or two, but then the rest of the time you're just kind of waiting, and motherfuckers, you know, they don't just want to watch your trade develop. So I see how guys, you know, cut shit and all that. Yeah, check out the Discord room. Mag is exactly right. You got guys in there all day. AMD killed it. Yeah, AMD has been killing it. This was a short a couple days ago for me, and now it's turned around and winning again. WKHS. This was the company that creates that 300 horsepower truck. I think it's I think it's 400 horsepower. It's like 410 horsepower. It's battery powered. And they've got some decent orders, man, from like, you know, companies like UPS and shit. And it's a battery powered. I think it's a mix. It's got fuel and battery. It went red. I covered. It was another nice profit. But then on that green day, Tim Sykes had put out that this was a good buy, and a lot of his people came in. So here we have now WKHS. Looks like it's running out of steam, but it was a good trade for the 2 days. Off that 220 lows. Look at that, man. It was 220 lows to 317. But again, using that 4 and 8 exponential moving average. Look at that beautiful hammer pattern here too. What the heck? What's 4 to 8 flip? I'm not sure what you're trying to say, Javier or Davier. Let's see what else we have. CDXC. CDXC is another one that I think is about to lose its ass. With that 4 and 8 crossover. If you guys need a good paper trading app for your cell phone when you're on the go, Stock Trainer is a really good one. You can buy, you can low, long, short. It's 15-minute delayed, so it's not a intraday kind of trading app because it's not live. Of course, you can always use TD Ameritrade's paper trading app on Thinkorswim. That's another good one too. Let me see here. I'm going through other long opportunities for tomorrow. And these small caps haven't been putting out news nightly like they used to. Sometimes, you know, you'd always be able to find some news that just broke or something like that to be excited for. You guys remember that shit? But now they've been like waiting till like the AM to drop news. So I'm looking through the deal news. Calling you on the air. What's up?
Hey, buddy. What are you doing right now?
Look at this, man. Bitch, nigga, what are you calling for, man?
Just want to know if you suck dick.
Get out of here, you damn nigga!
I don't know why I'm so popular with the homosexual community. You know, you really fuck with your head when you do shit like that, man. A lot of guys think like they're just goofing around when they do stuff like that. But psychologically, you really fuck with your own mind when you do stuff like that. Like, you really harm yourself, you know, in terms of your own personal well-being and your own psychology, man. You really fuck with your head in a negative way when you do stuff like that. You know, because you're saying to yourself, to your subconscious mind, I'm not a serious person. I'm not worthy of better, you know. Like, he probably thinks this is absolutely hilarious that he just did that. That he called up another man and asked another man if he sucks dick. You know, and this guy got on the phone, changed his voice, you know, like a goofy motherfucker would. You know, you fuck up your subconscious mind when you do that, man. You lower your your personal value is lowered when you do shit like that. You know, that's why people don't respect goofy people. I don't know, man. I don't know. I know you probably think that was funny as hell, but man, I can almost guarantee you your life probably isn't where you think it's supposed to be at. And that's because you just don't take yourself seriously, man. So I actually feel sorry for you when people do that shit. I actually feel sorry for them. Let's see here. Let me see. ADAP. Yeah, I saw ADAP. ADAP here is another move. 4 and 8 crossover. I'm just get with some of these guys coming out of India. Can we get like a 4 and 8 screener? Because man, I have to pull up chart after chart after chart. But anyway, this one just crossed today. Just crossed positive territory here on the RSI, as you can see. We just crossed 50. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start marking this line here. Where's my horizontal line? Put the horizontal line. There we go. So we got back into positive territory on the RSI on ADAP, based on the news that they put out with the initiation to study a T-cell therapy program that they're putting on. With an 8% move today. We'll see how the market holds that up. Decent volume in it, nothing crazy. $972, you're on the air. What's up? Oh, you hung up on me. Call me back if you want to get back on. Live for ATV, you said we need a top 10 asshole caller video. Man, I've had, especially like when I first started the show, that's when it was really bad. Those of you guys who been here since the beginning, man, you know what, man, the beginnings were horrible, man, because, you know, I had just pretty much stopped promoting stocks like regularly after the business was starting to dry up. So we had a lot of guys who were just hating on me just because I was on the internet, you know, getting money, calling up and, you know, just doing all kind of goofy ass shit. There's this one Asian guy, I can't remember what the episode is, but some of you guys might remember it. He called up. And he's like, "Yes, can you show me how you do your charts? Show me your chart analysis," and, like, you know, trying to have me break shit down all technical and all that shit. And I'm like, man, I just want to talk about tickers right now. And when I snapped on it, he's like, "Oh my God, you motherfucker! You motherfucker! Shut the fuck up, you motherfucker!" The fuck is this nigga doing right now, B? Yeah, that shit was crazy, man. That was some crazy ass shit. motherfucker turned into like a Asian 50 Cent just over the phone, you know. Got all gangster in his accent and shit. Let me see here. CDE. CDE, another one. 4 and 8 crossed over on the 11th, and it's been holding really well. Man, I don't know. Commodities still scare the shit out of me, but CDE's been doing real well now, going back above, looking like it's trying to head for 10 to get out of penny stock territory. But it was definitely fun while we had it. Look at the beginning of May. Look at this, man. This was an $8 play. Now you're up almost $2 on the chart. 480, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, what's up, Sal? It's Tyson.
All right, what's up, Tyson?
All right. I don't know. I just had a couple tickers I want to take a look at before we open up the market tomorrow. I'm looking at FPP. I don't know if you ran that one already.
SVP? No, I haven't. SVP.
No. It's Frank. F as in Frank. P as in Paul. P as in Paul.
Okay, FPP. Field Point Petroleum. Nice. Okay, nice move today. Up 24%. What do you like about it?
I just like the fact that right now, I'm liking the fact that it made this move after it's been flat for quite some time. And I like the fact that it's trying to get over this little hump, this little 50 cent area, and it's just trying to make some moves up here. So I'm looking for that to trade higher because it's gotten to this 50 area and tried to trade over 50, and I'm looking at it to trade higher. It's a lot of activity there, and I don't know, it might have got some traders' attention today.
Yeah.
The regular volume was something cheap, like 36,000, and it's at almost 500,000. So I'm looking at some volume to come in there and possibly trade at some higher levels there on FPP.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm seeing that huge volume bar, so you had a lot of money coming into the play today. Hopefully they decide to stick around and see if they can get more on this. But, yeah, definitely nice move. 8 cent gain on a stock that was already dirt cheap. These moves, if you can catch them, man, these can change your account because these are basically OTC stock prices, but on the Nasdaq, and, a 24% gain on any account can really, change your entire outlook for, your trading year. Nice move.
Yeah, I know. And sometimes if I can find cheap stocks like that are putting up decent moves and getting decent volume behind them, I like to catch them early. So I caught that one today at around 40 cents. And looking for it to trade higher. So yeah, I like that one. I like that one a lot. And sometimes when you get those really cheap stocks like that, sometimes when they get going, like on a first day, and they try to get through some higher levels of trading, sometimes they always have a good second day sometimes they have like good follow through on the next day. So I don't know, possibly some follow through there, and if it can get through 50 cents, definitely can trade at some higher prices on that one. And I had about 2 or 3 plays for my 2 o'clock list.
Right.
And I'm looking at ONVO. I think I seen you guys going through ADAP earlier, but let's look at ONVO.
Okay. ONVO. All right, 293, up 5% today. There's another one that crossed over here. Looks like on Friday, above the 4 and 8. So far, doing really well. Nice day today for ONVO.
Yeah, I'm looking for some possible continuation on that tight 2 o'clock angle, and possibly get some follow through there. I don't know. I like it, and every time I check on it, it's always putting up some good strength. So I like that ticker for tomorrow for some follow through. And I also had NADL, and I know a lot of people trade that one.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys did that already.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about this one, but NADL getting back to it needed this green day really badly. It really needed this green day because it hasn't had 2 consecutive strong red days in a row, as you can see from the chart, in a while. I think going back to April, so it's been a month, almost a month since that happened. But NADL is one that people like to buy when it runs. Today you had decent volume on the stock, but NADL was something definitely to watch. What's your opinion on it?
Yeah, I like that ticker. Well, just from my glance on the charts, it's kind of making a trend, kind of like a trend change. So it's making a little bit of change of direction. It was kind of getting hammered down for a little bit there, and so it's kind of trying to reverse and get some strength in it. So looking for some possible follow through strength on that tomorrow.
Yeah, I like it's making higher lows as it goes higher. So since April. So I don't know if this can continue or not, but we'll see if it can continue to hang on. But like as I said, it needed that green day today for NADL. What's that top up there? Let me see here. Recent 288. I don't know if we're headed there, but we'll definitely be watching NADL, see what this does moving forward.
Yes, sir. And then last but not least, I just got one more ticker. Let's take a look at LLEX.
LLEX. Let me see here. Lilas Energy Incorporated. Now, this used to be an OTC company. Not bad. Let me see here. 3%, or almost 3%, actually 2.86 to 540. Man, this has been ripping it over the last couple of days here.
Yeah, this is on my 2 o'clock list. It's been really strong, holding up really firm.
Yeah.
Giving you good profits on the dip. If you can take a look at the weekly and then kind of look at the strength that it's given in there, and then what you want to do is I open up the daily and see where I can find some profits in there, and then the profits on the intraday chart are going to be on the dips. So it's strong. It held up really well today. So I'm looking for some continuation there at this trajectory at 2 o'clock with some strength on it. Really nice stock from last week.
Yeah, here's the last 2 days, 5 minutes, and he's right. I mean, when you got the dips, these have been really great times to get back into the stock here. If we look at day before yesterday, Monday's day, and then look at yesterday as well, the dips have always been pretty nice moves. But again, that daily chart shows that holding the stock pays the most fruitful dividends over the last week and a half or so. Not bad.
Yeah, it's a profitable swing, and you would have got your profits, if you would have got a hold of this thing. If you would have caught attention to it, like, sometime early last week, Friday or Thursday, and then, made a position on it Monday. I'm looking for some continuation tomorrow, but I always got a list of like 20 or 30 tickers that are going to do some possible things tomorrow. So, but yeah, that's what I got for right now. I'm looking for some continuation on those stocks, and I really got an eye on FPP to get over 50.
There it is, man. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Tyson Batson. I know we're going to have you on Thursday, man. Looking forward to it. Yeah,
well, I'll be on Thursday, and I'll kind of give a into-depth analysis on this 2 o'clock and kind of get some traders out there, some safe trading, and get some profits going.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for the call.
Yes, sir.
All right, so shout out to Tyson Batson. Again, we're going to have him on Thursday. I'm looking forward to having him on Thursday. And, again, he's going to go over his 2 o'clock strategy. He's going to go over that. Nice find. Yeah, definitely nice find on that LLEX. That used to be an OTC company. That used to be an OTC stock. Lilacs Energy. It traded on the higher the highest one, which was kind of illiquid, which is illiquid. OTCQX, and then I guess it must have moved up. Oh yeah, recently. There it is. Yeah, okay. What was that? May. All right, May. Yeah. Starts commencing on NYSE market. Okay, yeah. They just did it like this month. Lilas Energy secures financing ahead of move to New York Stock Exchange. Uplisting to NYSE follows recent $140 million in filings. Highlights rapid progress our management team and board have made in executing the strategic vision the company laid out a year ago. Yeah. Former OTC stock, man, now headed to the New York Stock Exchange. Good luck to them. Not many of these oil companies last, so we'll see what happens with Lilas Energy. Yeah, get those likes up, man. Get those likes up. If you're watching the show, man, go ahead and like my show right now. Let's go through a couple more of these tickers before we get you guys out of here. Let me see here. Here's another one that people like a lot. MITK. Nasdaq playing again. This has just been benefiting from the overall run in the market. That's just been doing so well. Look at MITK. You know, he's just been doing so well. Just been killing it. 4 and 8 says stay in, and you know that's basically what people have been doing. And MITK, 4 and 8 crossed over. Really, you know, the real move was back here at 6. You're at $9, and the trend hasn't changed. MITK since $6 here back in March. 4 and 8 exponential moving average. Great move here. Great move here. Let me see here. This is one I know Sinclair brought this up. STM is another one that's just been killing it, man. STM has just been killing it. STM has been killing it. Another, you know, stock crossed over back late April. Got into some trouble. It was running really aggressively and got into some trouble here late April. And here we have, you know, $14.64. Now we're up $3. So definitely not a penny stock, but was a penny stock at one time. I mean, this nobody cared about this stock. You know, you can go back to, you know, when I first started the show, STM was one of those stocks we used to talk about. And here we are, you know, you're up almost 100% in the course of 6 months in the trade. STM, beautiful looking chart. Look at that chart, man. Beautiful. LTBR. Yeah, LTBR. Yeah, see, LTBR is actually on my short list for tomorrow. Earnings was really good. In terms of they weren't losing as much money as people thought they were. Good. So not like, hey, we were making a killing when people thought we were losing. No, they just posted that they weren't losing as much as people thought. So it's actually on the short list. I think there's been some overreaction here. We talked about USEI looking real good. If you've already been in it. 972, you're on the air. What's up? Oh, lost it, man. But LTBR, I think, is a little overextended. As you can see here on the RSI, we're a little, you've enjoyed, some really good gains. I mean, from 131 to 185, man, that's a good move. But I think you're overextended now. 484, call me back. There it is. 484, what's up? 484, are you there? All right.
Oh, shit.
All right. Looks like that brother was just trying to hear me breathe. Tyson Bratz, you talking about? Let me see here. FNJN. Yeah, this one I actually have a position in going the other way, so please don't squeeze me in this one. I think this one, if you think this is gonna run, I don't know about this one, but we'll see what happens. I did see people bought those dips in FNJN today. On the 5 minute, especially if we look on the 5 minute, we're above the VWAP, and they caught me on this one. I ain't even gonna lie to you, man. They caught me on this one. I'm at like 275, but I'm willing to ride it to 290, 295. But this is another one that I think is overextended based on, short-term excitement. And I'm willing to go a little long on this one. What do I look for in potential trades? Shorts. Shorts, I mean, just overextended bullshit. That's all I look for. When it comes to longs, 4 and 8 crossover. That's all. 4 and 8 crossing over on the daily chart. Momentum on the RSI showing below 65 or crossing over from a bearish. Low 40s going above 50. I love those kind of moves for swings. I let me see here. I kind of trade a little scared when it comes to going long because I just don't feel like that's my strength. I can identify bullshit because I pushed bullshit for very long. But I have a hard time identifying and believing in these companies after you've, know how they do things sometimes. Oh, of course, volume plays a huge difference in what you're doing. I mean, you never want to. I mean, volume is, gives you the most honest price. Is the stock with the most volume. If it's below 250,000, hell, if it's below 500,000 shares, I don't, most of the time won't even look at it. Mr. Lloyd, you on the air? What's up?
What's up? What's up, man? Had me roll out the bed and shit to see that you on the air. I'm like, what the? Is it Friday? Shit, I lost track of time. Hey, yeah, man. I saw that you said something about the 4 and 8. It's crazy how everybody uses different moving averages. So what got you to the 4 and the 8 as far as for long?
Well, Bad Scientist came up and showed how the 4 and 8 from Stephen Bigelow was able to identify short-term changes in trends in stocks. So when a stock crosses over from a very bearish, 8 or being above the 4 to going positive, where the 4, a short-term 4 exponential moving average is now on top of the 8, that signals a short-term trend change. So that is a good probability that stock could stay in the short term positive for you to be able to benefit from a multiple day swing of typically between 2 to 3 days.
Okay, yeah, because I use of course I use the 8 and I use the 12 simple moving average.
Okay.
And I mean, but it's just crazy how everybody, and actually I was using the 60 and the 10. Everybody has their own method, so I was trying to see how you derive from the 4 and the 8. I mean, I've heard Steve Bigelow using the 4 and 8 for entry, so I didn't know as far as short term that's what he uses it for. But I didn't find the video on what he uses for his entry, so that's good to know that he uses the 4 and the 8. Yeah, man. Right now, I've I'm playing Priceline. You know, they had that earnings drop, and I got kind of burnt last week on it, and so I got in it. Monday. You know, I've been crying for about a whole month that I can't catch a move that goes past like 50 cents, and I got my first $15 move today.
Yeah.
You know, like a Nvidia move. You know, how many times have you played Nvidia and it was like right at $90 and you think the shit's going to go down, and so you buy some puts and then it goes up.
Oh man.
And so you sell.
That's one of the reasons why, man, options is just drove me out of that shit for a minute. But I mean, you know, this stuff, man, you know, the market, if you believed in the market, you just set it and forget it, man. Buy a call 4 months, 5 months out the way at a pretty reasonable number. I mean, guys are making a killing, man. Can you imagine going back to Nvidia? Speaking of Nvidia, I mean, if you a couple months ago when it fell off its ass, I mean, imagine taking, you know, a 110, 120, 130 call, you know, option for, I don't know, hell, June, you know, you would have made insane amount of money now, you know.
But, you know, so many people talking shit about it, and you kind of believe the hype because it's just moving sideways for so long. So it's like, you really have time to do the research, but it's crazy to see that this shit, you know, I mean, you think if people that go to Stock Twits and look at that stuff, I mean, you can fall for the hype. And I mean, when I started playing the video options, I was getting burned left and right. I mean, I couldn't catch the trend, or, you know, it was almost like Netflix. It's like the devil. Mm-hmm. But just so, anyways, man. So are you gonna get back into options again?
I will get back into options again, man. But I think, man, every time I think the market,
you got mixed feelings about it, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, you know, every time I think the market's overextended, it keeps going. If I think, all right, let me go ahead and buy a put on this, it'll keep going. Or when I buy a call, then, you know, all of a sudden that's when now the market wants to start consolidating. Like, what the fuck? You know, it reminds me when I first got into stocks. Like, literally, sometimes it would fuck my mind up when I would see a stock running, and as soon as I make my purchase order, the stock starts going down. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what? Do you just not like me, or what? What the hell? And that's how I feel about options. Like, as soon as I put my money in, that's when shit wants to start fucking up, and I can't find a consistent option strategy. And I think until I can see somebody present a option strategy, because I've seen some of these so-called gurus on Twitter saying Lucci and all these guys, but they don't present like a strategy. Like, you know, they'll just say like, well, I just read level 2, and I'm what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Like,
he only looks at the he don't have no shit on this chart, so he have a chart up with nothing on it, and he just read the what's the buys and sells.
Yeah, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Okay, so if that's what you do, what the fuck you looking at then, man? Well, like, what are you looking for whole numbers? Are you looking? Explain what the fuck you're doing, bro. Explain what the fuck you're doing. That's all I'm asking. Okay. And it's, you know, but, you know, these guys have no, you know. They don't have no methods. None of these option guys, man. They just say, hey, we just, you know, they don't have any. I mean, seriously, if you look at their platforms, they have no strategy. They're just basically throwing it out there in directional moves. Right.
Okay, I thought that was just me, man. I went through that whole, and you know, if you listen to San Lucio on YouTube, man, all these videos sound really good, man. It's almost like, it's like when you go to a presentation for a timeshare. You know how good it sounds?
Oh, yeah. All his videos sound like, you know, them commercials that come on the radio. Hey, I want you to be my real estate investor. You know what I mean? Like, we got properties to trade in your area. And come on down. You know, we're going to teach you how to trade. I mean, how to buy and sell real estate. We really ain't going to give you no real details on how to do the shit, you know.
Right.
That's basically all his videos are, man.
Right. So yeah, I haven't found any real consistent strategy. I went back to doing spreads because it doesn't time decay is not on my side. So I prefer the spreads, But once I start playing other things like straight calls and puts, and I mean that's where I get ate up at, because of the, just like you said, it goes against you or it doesn't move. And so the best thing I found is these low risk spreads until I can get an understanding of what I'm doing with the options. Because I mean the options, it has that delta. You have to calculate this and shit. It's almost like you got to be a damn scientist. And people say, "Oh, don't overthink it." Well, fuck. Well, how in the fuck do you play it then?
Yeah.
To not overthink it.
Yeah.
So, and I know it's not Friday, man. But how do you take this recent news on Trump?
Man, I mean, look. I mean, America hated Obama so much they wanted the anti-Obama. They wanted somebody who was everything that Obama wasn't, and they got it, man. So you got what you asked for. You wanted somebody who was, everything that Obama wasn't, because again, America hated him, for the fact that, he is who he was. A black man who was clean cut, spoke well educated. So you basically wanted a buffoon who was going to go in there and basically erase everything that he was about. And they got it. Now he's fucking up the country, man. And it's an embarrassment, man, to see what's going on in America. You got the rest of the world laughing at us, man. Like, seriously, they're just laughing at us. And, but these people are so filled with hatred for foreigners. And, they're willing to destroy, the reputation of this country just to maintain the system of white supremacy. And it's sad, man. It's really sad.
And speaking of white supremacy, man, I'm glad that video that girl being hung was fake. Because I'm telling you, man, as soon as I seen that, somebody played that shit at work, I swear if I saw a Confederate flag going outside, man, I probably would have went postal.
Yeah, man. That was a sad thing to say, but I mean, again, as black people, we got to build a personal economy, and we got to, that's why I'm really going so hard on this stuff, because I want to create so many new traders that look like me, because, man, we got to build an economy. We got to build our personal net worth. There's so many things that have to be changed so that we don't have black women out here who are going out there participating in what we call race play. They call those things are called race play, where you have these sisters who are low income. Most of them live on welfare and these, projects, and they get approached by these white supremacists who are like, hey, I'll give you $200 to come over. We'll pretend to lynch you. We'll pretend that we'll piss on you. We'll do all kind of just disgusting things. And they take advantage of, our miseducation, our poverty. And, if we want to avoid those kind of things, we got to put ourselves in a position to have, a net worth that our kids can work with. You know what I'm saying? Some assets, so our children aren't put in a position where they have to do shit like that. That girl was at least maybe 21, 22, and, pretending to get lynched, man. That's sad that she's got to do that. And the only reason she's doing that is because for money,
And you know what? And she could have started a fucking riot that day.
Yeah.
She could have fucking got somebody hurt.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, she's thinking about her short-term interest, because, again, her family members and, whoever brought her in the world didn't care enough about her to put her in a position to be able to make some moves out here. So she's got to go out there and play race play and get lynched on camera for somebody else's enjoyment. That's sad.
Right. Oh man, yeah, that's all I got to share. I'm gonna keep my eye on Priceline right now. I mean, and it looks like it's. I feel like it's just gonna be just like Nvidia. I mean, yeah, they dipped down, but that's just gonna go back up again. And I feel like I need to buy a longer term Priceline, but that's just so fucking expensive. And I really don't have the patience for it. But I know it's going to get there. Mm-hmm. It just. Is it worth it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so, yeah. I mean, you can get in with Google with me, man. I mean, Google to run to 1,000. I got nervous for a little bit, but Google's back up and running again, man. So we're gonna be touching 1,000.
You got a little nervous, huh?
I was a little nervous, man. Like, I got almost like 10 G's in there. My money, a little bit of my mom's money. So, but Google.
You took it out that ETF?
No, I'm out the ETF, but I'm straight Google now. Like, I'm actually in the, purely in the
Right.
in the play. So we're going to
Right.
to 1,000 here on Google. We'll see
Okay.
we'll see what happens.
All right, man. Well, thanks for having me on the air, Sal. Hope you have a good one, brother.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All right, thanks. All right, bye-bye.
Shout out to Mr. Lloyd for the call. Shout out to Mr. Lloyd for the call, man. Yeah, man, that's a disturbing video. I didn't even want to bring that up because shit like that gets me, it gets me heated too, And then we have a situation right now in Chicago where we had a young lady, get smacked up for no reason, just doing her job, man. Just doing her job. I'm going to show y'all that video in a bit here. Let's see. I think this is Bat Scientist. What's going on, Bats?
Hey, Sal, how are you doing, sir?
Hey, doing good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Just a correction on the 4 and 8 EMA. So we were talking to Mr. Lloyd earlier about, the coming up with the 4 and 8 exponential and how I came up with that. So Stephen Bigelow, he mainly trades the 8 exponential, and then he looks at things like the 50 and the 200 simple day moving averages, because that's what the big boys are playing and looking at in terms of resistance and support. So he typically will combine the 8 exponential moving average with those longer day moving averages for the big swing traders. So for me, looking at the 8 exponential, the 8 works excellently in any time frame, but I was looking to catch, and I noticed like the 8 maybe at times misses the earlier moves. So I added half of that, which is the 4 exponential, and I back tested it and found that the 4 exponential moving average moves earlier than the 8 for obvious reasons. It's a much shorter time frame, but just like when you compare StockGuard's 1 minute RSI trading strategy versus a 5 minute, the problem you have with the 1 minute at times is if it gets choppy and you get false signals, you then need to go to maybe a larger time frame which will consolidate 5 of those candlesticks to give you a true reflection of what's happening in the long run. So in the same way for the 8 exponential, it catches most of the moves and it's pretty reliable. But if you want to catch that initial move, that's when you use the 4. And then basically after I added the 4 to the 8, I then came up with the idea of, in the same way that you have the MACD or the moving average convergence, divergence, you can then use when the 4 exponential moving average crosses above the 8, that's a confirmatory indication that the stock is bullish. So the crossover is almost like an added kind of parameter that you put into there to make sure that the stock is bullish, because the 4 on its own will catch an early move, but then that move might come back down. The 8 on its own is very reliable and works for day or swing trading, but if greedy is the word, if you want to catch a few cents before that, you look to the 4, and then as the 4 then approaches the 8 then becomes the confirmation of the 4, in the same way that the 5 minute would confirm the 1 minute. And so that's the principle by which I came up with the 4 and then the 4 exponential crossing over the 8 exponential. And once again, that works if you're going long or if you're going short. When the 4 crosses above the 8, you're bullishly in that stock, and then when the 4 crosses under the 8, especially at the top of the chart, high RSI condition, then you short the stock or you get out of your position, your long position. And so if you take the 4 and the 8 and the crossover and then you add something like interpreting candlesticks. I noticed you were talking about FNJN. I definitely feel what you're saying, because on the daily chart, the 5 minutes looks bullish, but you always want to bring it back, like zoom out a little bit and see what's happening in the big picture. And you notice, I think it's above RSI 75 right now. Today's green candle with the hanging man, where you get a small body and it looks like a tadpole, essentially. It's a hammer signal, but at the top of the chart, that's bullish. So you'd want to go into tomorrow to confirm that bearishness, I guess. And so I'm with you with that. It's just, it gets a little confusing when one time frame says one thing and the other time frame says something different. But definitely in terms of swing trading on the daily chart, based on what I saw today on that hanging man at the top of the chart with the long lower wick, FNJN definitely looks bearish, but then that's why you go to the next day to look for the confirmation. And that's all I wanted to say, basically, with the 4 and 8 exponential. Took Stephen Bigelow's method with the 8 and then added the 4, and with my prior knowledge of MACD and how that worked, typically the big players will look at maybe when the 20 simple moving average crosses the 50, or when the 50-day simple moving average crosses the 200. Because most of us are day traders or we're swing traders in a small time frame, the 20, the 50-day moving average, the 200 absolutely makes no sense. There's no way, if you're a day trader or holding a stock for a week, that a 200-day moving average makes sense. Neither does the 50, but you can still use them as points of resistance and support. So always, I've always said this on your show, depending on what time frame you're trading on, make it realistic to that time frame. If you're day trading, don't use, a 200 moving average or a 50, because you're going to miss all those trades in between. Just make it make sense based on the time frame you're looking at.
Yeah, absolutely wonderful. And by the way, those of you guys listening, Stephen Bigelow's got a YouTube channel where he's got great in-depth videos where he's not talking over your head. He's really one of those guys you can listen to, from beginning to end, and gets right to it and explains it so well.
And I can post a link. If you want to, if someone asked me what's the one Stephen Bigelow movie or video, that describes his 8 exponential moving average trading strategy, just go to YouTube, type Stephen Bigelow with a PH, and it's called Trading the T-Line. It's about a 1-hour video. It tells you everything. He comes in with examples and basically explains the 8 exponential, how they came up with it with Rick Sadler, and spent, weekend after weekend back testing thousands of stocks basically to make sure that this works. So it's called Trading the T-Line. You can find it on YouTube. It's Stephen Bigelow. And, I followed it. I back tested it, stocks just like he did, found that it worked really nicely, whether you're day trading or swing trading. And of course, day trading, I like to add the VWAP to that, but that's a separate strategy altogether. If you just wanted to use the 8 exponential by itself, it actually works pretty well. And I found in recent weeks or months, it actually works quite nicely with OTC stocks. Now, OTC stocks don't typically trend like your typical Nasdaq stocks. I talked on your show, I think it was back in January the 25th, it was episode 113 at around 48 minutes and 53 seconds, episode 113, where I'd been analyzing PNTV and was able to kind of suggest that it was going up, and of course it did go up nicely. OTCs tend to have a kind of different behavior, because what I found with them, like I've said in your show a few episodes back, is you want to catch the first day of a good run, and you can use the 4-8 exponential with that if you want. But these stocks tend to be parabolic in terms of tracking the Bollinger Band, but they also track the 4 exponential. And I think that's a phenomenon that also works even with the Nasdaq. If your stock is parabolic enough, you'll notice that it actually traces the 4 exponential and doesn't even interact with the 8. You may get lower wicks kind of touching the 8, but if it's truly parabolic, or as what's Tim Sykes's word, supernova, he uses that word, you'll notice that it tracks the 4 exponential very tightly and doesn't even interact with the 8. And that's what I found most OTC stocks do, especially the multiple day runners.
Yeah.
So, I guess that's all I have, but just wanted to put the record straight on that 4-8 exponential. Combine the two. Whenever, just long story short, whenever you combine different technical indicators and you get the same answer, whether it's taking a 1 minute and 5 minute and seeing the same chart, or putting RSI with volume with other indicators, if you're getting the same answer with multiple indicators, that's just plain statistics. The more variables you put in there where you get the same answer, the stronger or the more probable the result.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going bullish and you see RSI's cool down and it's coming down, you see the volume spiking, you see maybe a breach of the 4 and/or 8 exponential, you see maybe the MACD line crossing the signal line, or you look at combine maybe an Ichimoku cloud and you see it entering the cloud. If you get all those elements lining up, and I guess like Wolf of Wall Street, the one guy you had earlier on, where he uses a lot of indicators, you get to a point where if you use multiple indicators and you get the same answer for them, that almost, I don't want to say for sure, but it almost guarantees that you're right. Yeah. Because you can't just use one indicator. It's not reliable. When you start bringing in other elements, it starts making that statistically, it makes it more probable.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Bats. I appreciate the call.
Sure. Thank you, Sal. Thanks, group. Bye-bye.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Bat Scientist. In fact, I got to go back and rename that episode, and I'm glad he was able to tell me it was 113, because I got to go put Bat Scientist's name on that one. Let me write it down to remind myself. And I'm going to show you guys this video that I'm going to be making, because I'm going back to not just doing episodes, but I'm going to be making just videos on crisis and of the lack of net worth and the lack of opportunities that, because of the miseducation of the Negro, we've, been unfortunately put into situations where we got to take jobs we don't want. We've got to put vulnerable people in positions where they can, be taken advantage of. And I got this video that I'm going to put out tomorrow, possibly in the afternoon or so. But I wanted to show you the clip that put it all together. And this has to do with this lady from Chicago, beautiful older sister, just doing her job. And if this is so indicative, this video is so indicative of the treatment that vulnerable, populations in America suffer at the hands of people in the dominant society. And which is sad, because as I've been reading what's been coming out, they're actually protecting this guy. Now they know who he is. They know where he is. They don't want to release. This guy's not a police officer. He's just a random guy. They're literally, the media is actually protecting him by not putting his name out there, by not, showing him on television. You have people in a dominant society, again, white supremacists who hide behind all white people. And it's crazy. It's sad. It's really sad. And here you have, more commentary afterwards. Let me just show you the video. Let me just show you guys the video. Let me screen capture this and show you guys the video. Here we go.
As soon as he hit me, the pain instantly started throbbing.
Caught on camera, a female security guard was punched in the face last night in River North. Tonight, police are looking for the man responsible. Good evening. I'm Tamon Bradley.
I'm Jackie Bang. Eric Rung is in River North with our top story. Eric.
Good evening. It's pretty quiet down here tonight, but on the weekends, this place is hopping. So much so that the people that live in this building here installed 2 HD surveillance cameras to keep an eye on the place, and they captured everything this morning. It's a little before 2 a.m. and the man you see walking down the street and finally sitting down outside Zoa Stigler's building is the man she hopes someone will recognize. Is it hard to watch that video?
It is. Almost make me want to cry because I didn't remember everything, and to see him hit me that hard.
Zoa has been working security at the building for about 2 months. You can see her walk out and check on the guy. She says she asked him if he needed help. After a few more minutes, she decided to call 911. Police do drive by, but that's all they do. A few more minutes pass, and a girl who was with the man shows up. Soon, he starts vomiting. Zoa went to go get a bucket to clean it up, and when she comes back, she tells the man and his 3 friends to move along. Then, for seemingly no reason at all, the man throws a water bottle at Zoa, and you can see what happens next. And once he threw the water, you walked up to him. Did you say anything to him?
No. When he threw the water, I was shocked. I don't even know what made me walk up to him.
Here is a clean image of the man. You can also see in the video that 3 people are with him did nothing to help Zoa. You can tell that they saw the punch because of their reactions on their faces. The guy who attacked her walks away, and soon all 3 are gone.
Why would you hit a human being in the face that's trying to assist you, trying to help you?
Zoa says she's doing okay. The guy did break a bone in her nose and under her eye that may require surgery.
I hope they arrest him because I do plan on pressing charges against him for assaulting me, for doing my job.
And I did check in with police tonight. So far, they have not made any arrests. Also, the condo association says that they are going to turn over that surveillance video to police as soon as possible. We're live in River North. I'm Eric Rung, WGN News.
All right, I think there's one more video. There's one more video I want to show you that's a part of this too. Let me see here. Is it this one? Yeah, this is a, hold on, one more.
Delivered his punch, he strolled off with his friends like nothing even happened. But now high-definition surveillance video may lead to someone recognizing this man and perhaps even charges being filed. Surveillance video recorded early Sunday morning captured this. A man with a black and white 3 hat throwing a water bottle at security guard Zoa Stigler, followed by a punch to the face. Stigler says this was all brought on after she asked the man and his group of friends to move from in front of the building. Minutes prior to that punch, that same man was laid out in front of the 630 North Franklin condo building vomiting. Stigler checked on the man multiple times and even called police for assistance before coming out with a bucket to clean up the mess. She then asked the man and his friends to leave. The security guard, who's been working this job for about 2 months now, says she was just trying to help. She now has a broken nose and broken facial bones and may even need surgery.
I'm okay. Things happen. Yeah, I'm still alive. So, yes, I'm going to have a black eye. May have to have surgery, but I still get to go home to my children. I still get to see my grandbabies, so I can deal with a black eye.
Residents who live in the building tell me they're thankful those cameras were recently put into place, and they hope it leads to this man being turned into police.
I was absolutely horrified. She's been a wonderful person, you know, protecting the building, just doing her job. And she was, from what I could tell, helping the gentleman who was intoxicated.
Just as a side note, there are multiple clubs.
All right, I can't take that shit no more. I can't. That's full of shit. I can't take that shit no more. That's enough of that shit. Cause that's just some phony ass shit right there. You know, oh my God, she's such a nice person and blah blah blah. This is bullshit, man. We getting our mothers, our grandmothers knocked out on Mother's Day, a day that is specifically meant to show how special they are. And you have this man who just clocked her for no reason. And we know as white supremacists, they love soft targets, women and children. That's why when you ever see a black person violated by someone in a dominant society, it's always either a child or a woman, because they like soft targets. They'll never run up on a real one, but let it be a woman or a small child, you know, and to justify their actions, they turn the small child into a monster, you know. 36-year-old, what's his name, going after 17-year-old Trayvon Martin. You know what I mean? They shit like that. Shit like that. You know. And here we have this grandmother who has been on the job for maybe 2 months, right? So she obviously is someone who's bounced from job to job, miseducated, probably went to horrible Chicago public schools, working at a condominium, protecting people whose I looked at the building. The average apartment in that building is about $650,000 for a studio in that apartment building. So she's on the job 2 months, no gun, no real proper training for, you know, this kind of thing. She calls the police. That's another violation of her constitutional rights. She pays taxes like everybody else. The police drive by. Oh, he's a white suspect. We don't even have to get out the car to see what happens. This is an unarmed security guard calling for the police because you're armed and you're trained. They don't even check to see what the issue is. This video is so indicative of the treatment that people in the dominant society have towards people of color in America. And that's why I continue to stress wealth building, trading, skill learning of the financial markets, so we don't have to have our grandmothers in situations like this. This woman is probably in her, late 50s, mid. She seemed like she's probably in her early 50s, but it's just so sad, man. So sad to see what appears to be a very nice older sister in a situation where, that this is happening to her, man. It's just sad. It's just really sad. Go ahead, Mr. Lloyd. You're on the air. What's up?
I just want to reflect on that real quick. I think she should go back and sue the company.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's they got a nigga settlement that they putting out for her on GoFundMe. Have you seen what they did? They started with the $7,000 GoFundMe, and I guess it's up to $17,000, but that's still not enough. She deserves so much more than that. She could have been killed, man. She could have been killed. She could have gotten brain damage. She could have been, and the police are, and many other people in the community, they're protecting the guy who assaulted her. I mean, look at the way they faded out the other white guys and the white women who are around this guy. They're protecting their identities. If this was a black man who knocked out a middle-aged white, oh my God, this city would be burning. Not only that, but all those people who were party to that, they would be considered co-conspirators. But because he's white, and by the way, he looks more Middle Eastern, so, but they always tend to pass as white. That's what they do. They come to America and pass as white. Because that's how, people in a dominant society, as long as you don't look black, you can get a little white benefits. But here we go with, these people who saw it happen, but they get let go because, you know, again, they're white, so I don't have to be, you know,
Right.
charged with a crime when it comes to
Right.
harming black people.
Right. Yeah, man, and like I said, I will go back and sue the company for possibly the training they provided her was not sufficient enough as far as on how to engage or what her duties really were. I mean, and so she was just probably reacted on, you know, instinct and instead of being trained properly. So I will sue the hell out of that company.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my take on it, man. But don't get all upset tonight, man. I know how it gets once we get on the roll of this shit.
Yeah. No, I won't. But I mean, for me, this is like motivation, man, because, you know, this is motivation to like change things, to 10x everything that you're doing, man. So the people that you love, a generation from now, they don't have to be put in situations like this, man. And, you know, she appears again to be in her early 50s, and unfortunately for her, she comes out of a generation where, you know, black people were just being able to just get bank accounts, let alone being able to trade stocks or anything like that. But, you know, our kids 100 years, 150 years from now, we can do better from them by starting today with a strategy for a way to wealth, so they can have a bag to work with, so they don't have to be their doorman. You know what I mean?
Right. And actually, I wanted to tell you something, man. So, you know, I took a downgrade from 72,000 to 57,000.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had my first review today. And I mean, there was reasons why I took the downgrade. One is so I can focus on my trading, so I can, you know, I'm not, you know, it's not so intense. And then two, you know, have a peace of mind. And so have my review. And the lady's like, now I understand you came from a higher level management position to here, but, you know, in order to move up, you're going to have to, are you interested in getting more education? I'm thinking to myself, why in the fuck would I want to do some shit like that?
Wow.
And when I can make $500 or $600 extra a week, and be happy that I'm just fucking moving paper from A to B.
Right.
No, I was like, no, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Well, would you be interested in some classes if we get them started for us? So I'm not. I mean, are you trying to move me on or something? I mean, I'm not. I came here for a reason, and I don't think I'm ready to go just yet. So, you know, I mean, I don't get me wrong. I love the power of education, you know, and I feel like I can use trading as an avenue, just like it's like a trade. Like,
absolutely,
you know,
man.
CDL, you know?
The education in America is not like in foreign countries where they give it to you free, so the ROI is so bigger. That's why foreigners can come to America, because they barely pay anything for their education, and the ROI for being in America with a PhD from India or something is incredible. Whereas in America, you go out for your master's or a PhD or a bachelor's, you're in debt $60K, $80K for a job that pays $60K or $70K, but you got interest rate of, you know, credit card rate levels interest rate. It doesn't make sense. The ROI does not make sense for anybody to go to college unless you're trying to be a doctor or a surgeon or like that. But other than that, man, it just doesn't make sense to go to school in America. The ROI just isn't there.
Right.
It's not there.
Right. So, anyways, man, yeah. So, like I said, I'm glad that I read it to you, because I have my ability. I would have never just known what trading was about, even though I got burned many times. But at least I know I can go to it as a source if needed and as a backup. So, but anyways, man, how long you gonna be on tonight, man? Shit.
No, I'm about to close. No, I'm about to close it out, man. It's 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, I'm on the West Coast, and I'm looking like, damn, it's fucking late. I know how people feel that's on your side of the water. It must be like bleeding eyes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm about to get out. I know most of the people watching me are probably on the West Coast, or I got my truck drivers listening as always. But I'm about to get off here in a minute.
Cool, man. All right, man. Well, I guess you can have a good one, man, and I'll hit you up later.
Yes, indeed. Appreciate it, Mr. Lloyd.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, man. Look, I'm not gonna get myself too wrapped up. You guys know how I care about people who are violated. You know what I'm saying? That's what this is. It's just a violation. You know, a lot of people talk about black on black crime and all that stuff, but at least black people are held responsible when they commit crimes against other black people. What we're talking when we say Black Lives Matter and stuff like that is because white people and white police officers, race soldiers, because they're not police officers. Police officers don't kill unarmed people. white supremacists who are pretending to be police officers, they do. When we talk Black Lives Matter, we're talking the fact that people in a dominant society, white supremacists who are co-opting these careers like law enforcement, or just simply out here harming people of color for no reason, they're not held responsible. They're not held responsible. You know, and as you can see from that video, we showed you people who were just like looking around, man. You know, they didn't turn that guy in. They didn't call in and say, hey, my friend, you know, so-and-so, he hit this woman. I'm calling because I'm a good person. I'm a responsible person. I'm calling to report my friend who just committed a crime. They didn't even do that shit. You know, but yet they got the same attitude when you see some of these people in the hood talk about no snitching this and no snitching that. But they do the same thing. They protect each other, especially when it comes to justifying the harm against people of color. You know, so if that video right there doesn't 10x everything, that doesn't make you go hard at this shit, you know, I don't know if you got a soul, man. I really don't know if you got a soul. Because, you know, again, man, that was Mother's Day. This woman is a grandmother. Had to put in, you know, she's so poor. She's got to put in a couple hours on Mother's Day protecting wealthy people while they sleep in the most dangerous city in America right now, unarmed, no gun, probably getting paid less than $15 an hour to watch the door, and then she's getting punched. She's getting her nose broken, bones in her face broken, and the police don't even want to charge this man with violating this woman's personal space. Sad, man. You know, but that's America. You know, that's America for you right there in a nutshell. That right there, that video is so indicative, as I said earlier, of the treatment of African Americans in this country. Right there. You know, she's coming out to help. She's coming out to assist. And, you know, this man punches her in the face. All right. All right, guys, it's your boy Sal, man. Again, look out for that video. Possibly tomorrow. I'm gonna start, like I said, making, you know, videos in between just the shows, so I could put out some content that can be out there that has some staying power besides just the shows, because these are kind of short-term things. So I'm gonna mix it up a little bit here with some conscious material as I develop a real strategy that is about, you know, just having not only the willingness to learn how to trade and trading methods and but the vision, you know what I'm saying? The vision of what this all is. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys for watching me so late. Again, I had some things come up, man. Wednesday nights, tonight I'm actually off for Wednesday. We'll be back on Thursday with Tyson Batts. Looking forward to talking with him tomorrow. So Tyson, just call in tomorrow, man. And we'll get it popping from there, and get it rolling. Appreciate Bad Scientist, Mr. Lloyd. Shout out to all the people again who commented today on the show. And gosh, who's in here right now? Javier Rayborn, Bruce Mason, Michael B, Andrew. Appreciate it, man. Trader Marv, all my truck drivers watching, Cadillac Mac, everybody who's been watching, man, appreciate it. I'll be back Thursday night. You know, more money, more money. Until then, happy trading. See you guys tomorrow, man. Shout out to the Discord room. Let me put that link out real quick. Let me see here. Hold on. Let me get y'all the invite. If you need, by the way, if you need the videos for a small donation, I got all the videos, man. 5 Finger Discount, Tim Sykes, Nathan Mashad, all those guys. They don't need no more money. Come get it from your boy, man. I got all the links. All right. Over 100 hours of DVD training, all the best stuff, their old stuff. Everything they put out now is bullshit. So there's a link to the Discord room. See you guys tomorrow. Thursday. Yeah, tomorrow, actually. Yeah, tomorrow. Take care, everyone. HappyPennyStocks@gmail.com. HappyPennyStocks@gmail.com is the email address. More money, more money.